Today's topic is software measurement. Let us understand computing function points so that the software measurements are easily understood. As we know that function points are derived from direct measures of the information domain. If you look at that figure that is displayed on the screen, it contains 5 information domain characteristics which are determined, and also counts are provided in the appropriate table location. There are majorly 5 measurement parameters, namely number of user inputs, number of user outputs, number of user inquiries, number of files, number of external interfaces. So let us understand each and every parameter in a more elaborated way. Number of user inputs are calculated depending upon the user inputs that is given other than inquiries. So whenever the user is considering the input values, those inputs must be distinguished from the inquiries which are counted separately as another parameter related to the measurement. The next one is number of user outputs. The outputs can be referred to any type of error messages, screens or reports, etc. Individual data items within a report are not counted separately. So those are combinedly collected and the report is generated. Here we don't consider an individual item within a report separately. The next parameter is number of user inquiries. An inquiry is defined as an online input that results in the generation of some immediate software response in the form of an online output. Each distinct inquiry is counted. Here we are considering every inquiry of the user which is taken as an online input, and the process will be generated, and according to it response is collected in the form of an online output. So every inquiry is distinct and it is counted here. And the next measurement is number of files. As we know that logical master files include logical grouping of data that may be one part of large database or separate file is counted. Database is a particular place where the data is stored continuously between different organizations, and every organization data is placed in a log that is represented as a database. Large amounts of data is collected and placed into it. Whenever we need the specific data, we will be querying on it and we will be retrieving the data related to particular organization file. The last one parameter is number of external interfaces. Here all the machine readable interfaces that are used to transmit information to another system are counted. Any interface related to the machine readable form is represented to transfer or transmit the information from one system to another system is counted. Hope you understood the computing function points where we can calculate the FP values depending upon the count total. We will be entering the count values here individually, and we will be calculating with the weighting factors. The minimum value of weighting factor is 3 and maximum value is 15. These values we can simply consider depending upon the type of project we are choosing. These are different assessments we'll be looking over, but we need to see that the minimum value is 3 and maximum value is 15, while considering the simple, average and complex values for the weighting factors. We'll be computing the count value with any one of these weighting factors and will be placing in this box. Likewise, we'll consider all these values and we'll be summing all these values in order to place here. Like this, we'll be having the measurements related to the function points. Now let us discuss extended FP metrics. The extended function points are used for engineering real-time and control-oriented applications. In the engineering world, we however use different types of metrics that we already discussed, but in real-time applications, we'll be using the function points depending upon the functional and behavioral dimensions. In similar way, we'll be controlling different applications as per the requirements of the user. Now let us understand the concept. The function point measure was originally designed to be applied to business information system applications where the data was emphasized to the exclusion of the functional and behavioral dimensions. For this reason, the function point measure was inadequate for many engineering and embedded systems. A number of extensions to the basic function point measure have been proposed to remedy this function. The function point metrics exclude the functional and behavioral dimensions, which is a drawback under it. For that reason, in order to solve the problem, we are considering a function point extension called feature points, which is a superset of the function point measure, which is applied to systems and engineering software applications. Hence, real-time process control and embedded software applications tend to have high algorithmic complexity and therefore amenable to the feature point. The term amenable is used in order to have easy control on any type of items. So here you need to remember that function point measure exclude functional and behavioral dimensions, and the extension of function point is feature point, and it is superset of the function point measure. We are achieving it in order to have high algorithmic complexity. The next one is additional software characteristics. In order to compute the feature point, information domain values are again counted and weighted, as we are considering now the functional as well as control dimensions. So here we are having different characteristics which are added to the function point. The feature points, whenever we are considering the additional values, we need to have certain software characteristics implementing additional features for the feature point. Those are, first one is algorithm. Algorithm is defined as a bounded computational problem which is included within a specific computer program. As we have already discussed about algorithms in C language, similar way you will be having algorithm definition here also, which includes inverting a matrix, decoding a bit string or handling an interrupt. Inverting a matrix. If we consider a matrix, then only you can invert that matrix, right? In the same way, we are considering the input data and we are extending the function point feature in order to have feature point, because it is a superset for the function point. Decoding a bit string. Suppose if I am considering a bit string 0 1 1 and I am replacing 1 in place of 0, then it is an encoding format and we are placing decoding as 0 0 0. In place of 1 I am replacing 0. That is represented as decoding a bit string. Next, coming to the interrupt. Interrupt is nothing but whenever the process is undergoing some disturbance or some change is occurring in between, which disturbs entire process of any particular organizational data, then we consider it as interrupt. We need to handle that. That must be designed or developed in the algorithm. If it is not specified in the algorithm, any sequential steps are missing in the algorithm, then we need to handle such an interrupt. So it is also an example of algorithm. Next is bowing. It is an approach which integrates the data dimension of software with the functional as well as control dimensions. Here behavioral dimensions are represented as control dimensions. These are provided as a function oriented measure amenable to the applications that emphasize function and control capabilities. So we'll be using both these dimensions in order to integrate an approach following the capabilities of easy controllable applications in the function oriented measure. The next one is 3D function point. The characteristics of all the three software dimensions are counted, quantified, and transformed into a measure that provides an indication of the functionality delivered by the software. So, counts of retained data may be related to the internal program data structure such as files, and external data it may be included with inputs, outputs, inquiries, and external references. All are used along with the measures of complexity to derive a data dimension count. So, the first one is data dimension count, which includes the counts of internal data, external data, along with the measures of complexity. The next dimension is the functional dimension. It is measured by considering the number of internal operations required to transform input to output data. Here we are considering the number of internal operations required in order to transform the input data into the output data. And the third measure is control dimension. It is measured by counting number of transitions between states. So transformation is viewed as a series of processing steps that are constrained by a set of semantic statements. Here you need to understand two terms. One is constraint and another is semantic statements. Whenever we are performing transformation, then we need to apply certain conditions with a set of meaningful statements or meaningful instructions, that is represented as semantic statement. Constraints are nothing but conditions. So, the transformation is viewed as a series of processing steps that are constrained by a set of semantic statements. I hope you got the point. Next continuation is a state represents some externally observable mode of behavior and a transition occurs as a result of some event that causes the software or system to change its mode or behavior. It means whenever we are considering several states, a state is representing a mode that implements certain behavior and the transition occurs as a result of some event that causes the software or a system to change its behavior or mode of behavior that is represented as a state. Let us consider or let us consider with the help of an example to know the details of this state. Consider a wireless phone that contains software which supports auto dial functions. I think you all know the wireless phone which will be using for certain purposes in order to dial for any contact number. So in order to enter the auto dial state from a resting state, the user need to press an auto key on the keypad. The auto key must be corresponding to particular contact so that this event causes an LCD display in order to prompt for the code that will indicate the party to be called, to which person we need to call. That prompt code must be given whenever the LCD display shows for that prompt. Upon entry of the code and hitting the dial key, the wireless phone software makes a transition to the dialing state. When we enter particular valid code and hit the dial key, then only the wireless phone software makes a transition to the dialing state. Here we are considering an example of mobile wireless phone which starts from the initial state, that is resting state, to the transition under process using an auto dial state by pressing an auto key on the keypad, and the event prompting for that code is displayed which indicate any party to be called. Then we'll be hitting the dial key. Ultimately we are getting the output state as dialing state. When computing 3D function points, transitions are not assigned as a complexity value, but the following relationship is used. In order to calculate the index values, we need to consider all the weighted values for the elements. Those are represented as I, O, Q, F, E, T and R, indicating inputs, outputs, inquiries, internal data structures, external files, transformation and transitions respectively. So summation of all these weighted values for the elements will be calculating the index value. The next is each complexity weighted value is computed using the following relationship. In order to calculate the complexity weighted value, we need to have number of occurrences of element multiplied with the weighted values. So let us understand the equation. Complexity weighted value equal to NIL WIL plus NIA WIA plus NIH WIH. Here we are considering level of complexity as low, medium and high. So these are in the above equation, NIL, NIA and NIH represent the occurrences of element I. such as outputs for each level of complexity. They will be low, medium, and high. And coming to the weighted values WIL, WIA, and WIH corresponding to those occurrences of element I. So here, if you observe on the screen, a table is displayed in order to determine the complexity of transformation for 3D function points. If you observe the table, we are having the processing steps and also semantic statements. The semantic statements are taken between the interval 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 plus. In the similar way, processing steps are considered 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 plus, and both the values are represented depending upon the guessing of ranges. So as per the items we are selecting, depending upon the elements we are choosing, we will be handling these values. Now, corresponding to the processing steps, semantic statements, we are considering the level of complexity that we have discussed here as low, average, and medium. So these are corresponding to the input values, we are considering the outputs for them. In such a way, we are determining the complexity of transformation for 3D function points. I hope you came to know the transformation of 3D points. Let us consider the concluded part of the software measurement. It should be noted that function points, feature points, and 3D function points represent the same thing, functionality or utility delivered by the software. In fact, if we are considering the same value for all the measures, these are applied if only the data dimension of the application is considered. For complex real-time systems, the feature point count is between 20 to 35% higher than the count determined using function points alone. Because in the previous slide we have discussed related to the function point and feature point. Feature points are superset of function points. That is the reason why its percentage is higher all the time. The function point, like LOC measure, I hope everyone remember LOC, lines of code. We'll be calculating lines of code in every chapter depending upon the subtopic we come across, so please remember it. It is controversial. Proponents claim that the opponents who are present in order to calculate these measures, they claim that FP is a programming language independent, making it ideal for applications using conventional and non-procedural languages, that is based on data that are more likely to be known early in the evolution of a project, marking FP more attractive as an estimation approach. The opponents even claim that the method required some sleight of hand, where the computation is based on subjective rather than objective data. Whenever we are considering the subjective data and not caring of objective data, that counts of the information domain can be difficult to collect after the fact, and hence FP has no direct physical meaning. It's just a number. So it is a number which changes depending upon the weighted measures and also the number of occurrences. So these are the claims by different opponents in order to predict the values based on certain projects which seems to be following the estimation approach. And today's outcomes are learning outcomes are computing FP, extended FP metrics, additional software characteristics, transformation for 3D function points. Thank you one and all for listening. If you have any sort of queries, let us discuss now. Thank you.